Okay, so today's move tip is on the importance of post-column tubing and post-column connections in maintaining the fidelity of your separation. So I have two examples of where post-column tubing and connections have made a really important impact in the separation, and I want to share those, and then I'll share a final example of where there's broadening, but you can tell that it's not due to post-column connections. So a little way to differentiate post-column broadening from maybe something else. So this is the first example, and the details of this are a 1 millimeter separation or 100 microliters a minute. And then this is just showing the difference of using a 5,000th ID post-column connection. So on the left, we have 75 centimeters of 5,000th ID or 127 micron tubing. And on the right, we have 75 centimeters of 0.0025, so the beige peak instead of the red peak inner diameter tubing. So 1/2 the diameter results in fourfold less post-column broadening. And so for this example, just highlights the importance of only the post-column connection. So really very little else about this separation is expected to be different. And the resolution here undergoes a pretty drastic improvement just from changing that post-column tubing. So remember to use the correct inner diameter, and remember you get double the bang for your buck for inner diameter reduction as opposed to length. Length is will increases broadening linearly, whereas decreasing the internal diameter decreases broadening squared. So another example, which came from a collaborator of ours, and we really appreciate, they asked us not to share who it is, but you know who you are, and we really appreciate you allowing us to share this, is the importance of post-column connections. So in this case, this is a 2.1 millimeter separation of these two bile acids. This is the CDCA-DCA critical pair. Both of these use a 75 micron or a 75 centimeter piece of tubing, red 0.005 peak post-column. On the left, it goes into a valve that's used as a solvent divert, which is very common in a lot of setups. And on the right, it goes directly to the mass spectrometer source. So this is not to say that the post-column divert valve can't be done successfully or shouldn't be used in some cases. It's just to suggest that you should avoid it where you can. And when you do have to use those post-column valves, be sure that the connections are perfect. And if they're not perfect, then you can really run into a scenario where you can have these long tails that will affect your sensitivity and will affect your ability to resolve some of these critical pairs, especially if there happen to be a low abundant species nearby. This can have a major effect. So those two things, just showing the importance of the right post-column tubing, both the length and the inner diameter, and the importance of the fidelity of your post-column connections. Okay, last little thing I want to show is a third separation, which is a scenario where we have a nearly equivalent post-column separation or separation, but yet if we look at a different set of metabolites early on, the peak shape looks quite less good. Okay, so these are sulfated metabolites. When you see something like this on the left, you may be tempted to say, oh, this is, I've got post-column broadening somewhere. The way that you know that it's not post-column broadening and it's something else going on is the fact that the fidelity of later metabolites or other metabolites in the separation, molecules in the separation, are good. That's sort of the telltale sign. If you have post-column broadening, every peak nearly will be affected in essentially the same way. That broadening mechanism is irrespective typically of molecule class. Whereas if you have something that's more related to the separation itself, you have a scenario where some peaks may show broadening due to other effects in the separation that may be unrelated to the post-column configuration. So that's all we have for today. Just a little reminder to pay attention to those post-column and then how to interpret the difference between post-column broadening and broadening due to some other mechanism. Thanks. Have a great day.